Welcome to Sir Francis Online Tuition. I'm happy to have you here. In my previous video, I explained to you the meaning of an expenses owing at the beginning of the accounting year and how we can use the T account to treat an expenses owing at the beginning of the accounting year. Okay, so if you have not watched that video, I'll urge you to go back to my channel and watch that particular video. And if you have not subscribed to my channel, I'll urge you to do that for me, so that I'll be encouraged to do more educative videos, and also share my videos with your friends so that they can also benefit from that. Today what we're going to do is an expenses owing appearing at the end of the accounting year, okay, and how we can treat such transaction in our books using T account. Okay, so we'll be looking at example 1.2, which says that in the year 2001, rent paid which was credited to the cash book was 20,000. Rent owing at 31st December 2001 was 4,200. So when we say rent owing at the end of the accounting year, what does it mean? It means that expenses, the benefit has been consumed in the current accounting year, but the payment is yet to be made by the business. Okay, so maybe in the course of the business for a particular year, the business rented an apartment costed 10,000 Ghana cedis, and they made payment of, let's say, 5,000 Ghana cedis, and by the time the business was closing its books for that current year, they haven't made payment for the remaining 5,000 cedis. So that 5,000 remaining at the end of the accounting year is what is known as expenses owing at the end of the accounting year. But the benefit, it has been the business has consumed that benefit relating to that rent, but the payment that they are yet to make it. Okay, so they've consumed the benefit, or they benefited from that apartment that they rented, but the amount that they are supposed to pay for that rent, they've not done that. So that portion for which the payment has not been made but the benefit has been consumed at the end of the period is what is known as expenses owing at the end of the accounting year. So if you see something like this, how do you rectify it, or how do you treat it in your books? Don't forget that accounting, we are being guided by a set of rules, set of principles. One of them is the matching concept, which says that for a particular year, for you to know your profit, you should match all your expenses against your revenue. Okay, so the expenses being paid or not, it should be matched against the revenue that you earn for that particular year. So if you're in 2001, if you want to know your profit for 2001, now you have to match all your expenses in 2001 against the revenue that you earn in 2001, whether those expenses have been paid or not. That's the principle that we are following. So we don't just get up and do certain things in accounting. We are being guided by a set of rules. Okay, so here we are using the matching concept. So for this example, meaning the total rent for the year 2001 was 24,200, but the business has made payment for only 20,000, and so the remaining 4,200 is appearing at the end of the year. So how do you treat it? If you want to get the right figure for rent, then it means you have to add this 4,200 to the 20,000 that they've paid to get the total amount for expenses for rent. Okay, so in using the T account, if you are adding something to your expenses, and because all expenses have debit balance, what you have to do is to debit your rent account or that expenses account. Okay, so here I'm just giving an explanation, but in the upcoming video I will show you how to do that using a T account. My focus here now is giving an explanation on what is meant by an expenses appearing at the end of the accounting year, what it means and how it should be treated. Okay, So expenses owing at the end of the period means the benefits of that expenses have been consumed, but the payment is yet to be made. And for you to get the total expenses for the period, you have to add the one that has not been paid to the one that has been paid. So looking at example 1.2, the total rent for the year 2001 will be 20,000 plus 4,200, because this 4,200 is relating to the accounting year. It is appearing at the end. Okay, somebody will ask, how will you know that this one is for the end of the period or this one is for the beginning of the period? Always check the dates and know the reporting period. So the reporting period for this transaction or for this particular question is 31st December 2001, and this expense is appearing at the end of the period, which is 31st December 2001. It means it is part of the current year expenses, and we've not made payment for that. Okay, so for you to know your total expenses for that year, you have to add the one that you've not paid to the one that you've paid. I'm sure I've made sense over here. If you don't still get the explanation, just leave it in the comment section and I will be happy to attend to you. Okay, so you have to add the one that you've not paid to the one that you've paid to get your total expenses for the year. So always check the dates and check the reporting period. Okay, so I will end it here. In the upcoming video, I will show you how to use the T account to present or to treat an expenses owing at the end of the accounting period. Thank you very much for being with me. Please, if you have not subscribed to my channel, do that for me so that I'll be encouraged to do more videos. Share the video with your friends, comment on them, and help me to make and improve videos. Thank you very much and see you soon.